What is going on, guys? Today is Thursday. I don't even know the date. July 9th. Wow. Year's gone. Today is number 6 on 30 days going live. And second position lending. Is it risky or is it smart? Hi, guys. My name is Aaron Lambert, and you are watching 30 Day Live. I do have a podcast called Lambert's Moneymaker, where we talk about all things real estate. And I'm a real estate investor out of Las Vegas. I invest in Florida, Texas, Louisiana, and Nevada, soon to be maybe other states. I do a number of Airbnbs, co-living for elderly and for regular people called pad split. Also, fix and flips and new construction. So apologies for the background noise. I am still in the middle of the woods in a cabin in California where, yeah, I've been here for the last week, and we do this every year with my family. They're down by the creek right now, which is really nice. But anyway, second position. Second position is a topic that has been talked about recently, at least in my circles, that has caused a lot of people a lot of pain, uncertainty, and people just don't understand the risk and how some people just don't understand how it works. Now, is second position risky or is it smart? I would say both, right? Any investment is risky. First position, second position, no position, whatever it is you're doing, there's always a risk in investing your money. Now, this is not financial advice. This is me sharing experiences and other people's experiences that I've dealt with, as well as what I do in my company and how we operate with lenders, senior lenders, private money lenders, private money partners, so on and so forth. So second position can be riskier than first position. Why? Well, second position is a position that comes in behind the first position lender, right? So you have a mortgage on your home, you have $100,000 of equity. Your lender is Bank of America. Well, they're in first position. They if anything goes wrong, they get their money first. Second position, you take a loan out against that $100,000. Now that lender, whoever lent you that money, is in second position. So if there ever was a foreclosure on the property, Bank of America is going to get their money first, and then whatever's left over will go to the second position lender. That's why it's risky. Now, most of the time, it's only used on fix and flips, investor type loans, right? Where like someone like myself will go buy an investment property that's distressed. Maybe the ARV, let's just break down some numbers, right? ARV is 300,000. I come in, I purchase it for 50,000. Well, I need, 10% down payment, closing costs and carrying costs. This is what I want to raise. So I raise $50,000. $50,000 is probably a little much for that deal, but we have a $300,000 exit, right? And we're going to put $50,000 into it. So you have $150,000 for the property, a $50,000 second position loan, which a portion of that will go to the 10% of that will go to the closing cost and to the down payment on the loan. So we'll have, let's say, $130,000 senior loan, have $50,000 second position lender, and then we'll have $50,000 in rehab. So what does that add up to, right? That's 130 plus 50. That's 180. That's 230, and then we have an exit of 300. That's a nice spread, right? So is the second position lender at risk in that scenario? Again, all investments are risky, but their risk is definitely not secured. But I want to break down some numbers. So whenever you're doing second position, it's good to always know what the total loan to value is, right? So we're at a total in of 230, and then we're going to divide it by 300,000. So 76% loan to value. That's good. That's a good place to be because you have almost 25% of wiggle room if something goes wrong. Of course, you need to reduce your closing costs on the back end. But second position is not risky. Let me rephrase that. All investment is risky, Where second position comes in to be riskier is when, one, the numbers are fudged and not done correctly, and there's not enough spread on the back end. Two, you have a horrible operator that doesn't know what the heck, doesn't know a hole in the wall from his butt. Or three, you have a great operator that just got tied up with the wrong contractors. These are all scenarios that have happened in the past and can happen, right? For me personally, I've never lost any second position capital. And I'm going to show you here in a second what we currently have out and what we've done here in the past 6 or 8 months. But let's just go from Jump Street on numbers, right? If you have a deal and you're an investor, and then you have somebody that wants to come in and say, or no, sorry, if you're a lender and you want to come in second position, or you're contemplating second position, you need to know the numbers. You need to ask the investor, what's the purchase price? What's the rehab? What's the comps? What's the ARV? Do you have an appraisal? Did you do an inspection? Where's my money going? How's it being used? Let me see the loan terms. All these are relevant questions that you need to ask another investor if you're thinking about, or if someone's approaching you about doing a second position loan. Now, again, second position is riskier than first position only if you're not checking your numbers, checking your operator, double checking everything. Okay. So you need to verify the numbers. If you don't know the numbers, you need to reach out to somebody or do a little research to figure out what you're looking at, right? They can give you all the numbers in the world. If you don't know how to calculate them or what you're looking at, they ain't going to make no sense to you anyways. So loan terms are really good. Get loan terms from the senior lender. Get referrals from whoever it is that's asking you for money. Get a track record. Have they done these in the past? And what was the outcome? Did they borrow from other people? This goes back to referrals. What was the relationship like, and what was the transaction like on the previous deals? Did the lender that came in at second position on the last deal, did he have a nice experience? Why hasn't he? Did he relend? Will he relend? Like, these are all really, really good questions that you as a potential second position lender should be asking from the investor, right? Which, if you was ever to come and lend for me, these are questions that I expect you to ask. And if you don't ask them, I'll probably just give you the information anyways, because I like to talk and ramble, and sometimes you tell me to shut up. But so that's one, checking the numbers. Two, that goes back to referrals, the operator. And we just went over, how do you check the operator? You look at referrals. What has he done or she done? Who have they lent with? Who have they borrowed from? And how was that experience? And then the outcome. Did the investor get all of his money back? Some of his money back? Money plus his interest? What were the terms of that deal? They're not always going to give you the exact terms, right? Some lenders will. Some investors like myself, like, every deal is different. If I borrow from Susie Ann down the street and I give her, 10% on her money, that's between me and her, right? And then you come down and say, hey, what do you want to give me? I say, I give you a referral, and you go talk to Susie Ann and she tells you 10%. And then you come over and say, hey, I want 10%. I'm like, well, sorry, man, this deal does not fit 10%, right? So I tell my lenders to please keep that confidential. Of course, they could do whatever they want. We don't sign an agreement, but don't expect to get the same percentage as the last person, because every deal is different. Now, third thing that's very important that a lot of people don't do because they're relying on the operator. Now, if the operator checks out, then a lot of times the contractor that the operator is working with checks out, right? So, but if an operator is ever operating in a new area, then this is where you as the potential lender needs to be aware of that. One, that's questions you should ask, like, is this your first time flipping in this specific state, city, zip code? And if it is, well, who are you working with to do the project, right? Who's your contractor? Have you worked with them before? Do they have referrals? Like, all of this is very important, because you could have great numbers. I talked about this a couple days ago on another live. You could have great numbers. You could have a great operator, and you could have a really horrible, terrible piece of trash, garbage, no nothing contractor that's only trying to scam you out of your money. They can talk good talk, and every contractor is going to tell you they could do the job at X dollar in X time. when in reality, it's going to cost you more and it's going to cost you a longer time. Okay. So you always, I don't know what the multiplier should be. Sorry, I found a piece of popcorn on the counter. I don't know what the multiplier should be, but there definitely needs to be a multiplier on top of timeline and budget when you're dealing with new contractors. And when you're dealing with new contractors, now this is for investors, but also for you potential lenders. If you're talking to an investor that is in a new area, then you're going to get information. You want to verify and possibly even talk to the contractor. Why? You can get referrals from the contractor. What jobs have you done? How'd the outcome go? Did you hit budget? Did you hit timeline? Right? So you can get 3 referrals from the contractor that your operator is saying that. Now, is this more work? Of course it is. Does your money want to be more secured, or do you want to feel more comfortable about your money? Absolutely. Now, to save you some work, you tell the investor, I need you to provide me this, the name of the contractor. I need you to provide me your underwriting. What contracts and what are we using to solidify this deal? For me, we use promissory notes, deeds of trust, occasionally personal guarantee, only if needed, and a JV agreement, right? A JV agreement, especially if you're just coming in, as a lender and a partner, which is a very good model. For me, I like to give my lender partners a preferred interest rate. Every deal is different, but on my current offerings, we have a preferred interest rate with an equity share, right? Which is really good. Because you're going to get that preferred, which is a really good preferred. I mean, it's above market average. And then you're going to reap the benefits of what we make on the back end. So anyways, I don't want to get too far off subject. Back to the securing your position and de-riskifying it, right? All 3 of those, checking the numbers, checking the operator, now checking the operator's contractor if in an area that they are new to. You could even do it on an area that they've done flips and fixing flips before. Maybe they're using a new contractor. Who knows? But these are all good questions to ask to protect your money. Now, before I go, I want to show you what I've been doing. And a lot of times I borrow second position. I'd say all the time, every time. And every time I do it, my lenders. So this right here is a deal sheet of every deal that I've done in Vegas since October of last year, all second position. Every one of these, second position. Some of these deals were 30 days. Some of these deals were 60 days, 90 days. Some of them 100 days. And you'll see some of these like double addresses right here. It's because we had multiple lenders. So this is 2 lenders. 1 lender brought in. It's actually 3 lenders. The yellow is people that are in for a year or more. 6 months or more. They're yellow. They get like quarterly payments. These other ones are 6 months or less. These are all active deals right here. So we've borrowed on these projects here in Vegas. I'm not in Vegas right now, but in Vegas for our 55 plus co-living, come on, old man glasses because I can't see. $2.853 million. We've paid back $1.669 million and currently have out still working $1.184 million. So, and all this is at different interest rates. This guy is getting a different interest rate than this guy. Some of them are the same. Some of them are longer term. Some of them are shorter terms. Every deal is different. So the reason why I'm showing you that is because all of these people, some of them multiple investors, invested multiple times. Like this person might have invested here, and then he invested here, and then he invested here, or whatever. We paid him back. He came back in. Whatever. But these are all second position. The way that we did these deals is we collateralized them against a second property. It's called cross collateralization. So We used a property that was already rehabbed, already furnished, already filled with tenants, and already cash flowing. Now, Aaron, why would you do that? Well, let me ask you a question. Would you rather put a second position on a property that's already worth the value, the ARV, and it's already making money and it doesn't need to be rehabbed anymore, or put it on future value? Think about that for a second. Okay, so you got a lot of lenders or a lot of investors that when you come in, you're coming in on the project, right? Now, how does that look? Right now, I'm buying this house for $150,000. Well, it's probably only worth $150,000 because maybe $200 if you're pushing it, right? But I'm buying for $150,000, and then for it to get to $300,000 value, I need to put $50,000 into it. So, as a second position lender, you come in and you put your money. If you're doing it with us, now this is specific for Vegas. Now, this is not all of my projects because I have some more. Specifically for Vegas, we use a cross-collateralized piece of property that's already cash flowing. So it has more value and it has money generating. This is a much secure way for an investor, a second position lender, because of what was just mentioned. The previous one, the first position or second position on a property that is not rehab. And this is why a lot of this is also a reason why a lot of second position lenders don't want to do second position, is because of what just stated, which is I'm buying this for 150. Well, it's only worth 150, 200. So if I'm giving you 50,000, there's no equity in this deal. If it just, you literally had to buy the property and just disappear for the investor, right? So second position, it's as risky as you make it. And how do you make it not risky? You verify the numbers, you verify the operator, and if needed, you verify their contractors. And if possible, get a collateralized piece of property that's already rehabbed. Get something that already has the equity in it. Okay, that's enough for that piece. Now, how am I doing securing my lenders? I have Florida projects. I have Florida new construction projects. I don't think I have them pulled up, so I'm not going to show you right now. But briefly, what we're doing there is we're offering a equity split of like 35%, I believe, and a preferred interest rate. Now, how these properties are going to be scraped. 2 of them are going to be scraped. 1 of them's already scraped, and we're building nice new. And I have a jam up team down there. I have a team, my project manager. We have a team of 12 internally, along with like 3 GCs and tons of subs that are doing everything that we're doing and have been doing it for a while. I have my team in California that is backing me on securing the financing for the senior loans. And they are also, they don't just come in and secure the financing for the senior loan. They're with me through the entire deal. And why are they with me through the entire deal? Because they are protecting my second position partners. How are they doing that? My guys in California are set up in a way where if I need $300,000 for this project, you as a lender say, okay, what is my security? Well, you're in second position and you have equity in this project. So no matter what, you're going to get an equity percentage of the profit. And well, no matter what, you're going to get your preferred interest. Okay, well, what happens if you fall off the planet, Aaron? Good question. My team in California takes over the project, and they take over the project by paperwork we've already done in the front end, right? It gets assigned over to them. Now, what does this do? This prevents the senior loan from foreclosing, allows them to finish the project, and protects the second position because they're taking over the project with already agreements in place that whenever the project is sold, they're not only getting their preferred interest, they're also getting a higher split of the profits. If I go away, now there's way more profit to be split up. So it's going to be split up between you, a second position lender, and my team, which is the senior lenders, right? The senior lenders they're bringing in my senior brokers, they're bringing in the senior loan. They're doing all the paperwork. They're doing the deeds of trust, the promissory note. Everything is handled through their brokerage, which is even more secure because now it's not just me and you, right? It's me, you, and a third-party team. And it's me and my huge construction team in Florida that's working together to get these projects done. How are the numbers verified? Well, the numbers verified through data, market data, and appraisals, right? How do we know what the ARV is going to be? Well, we don't know the ARV. We know what the appraisal says, and we know what the market looks like. And all we can do is keep moving forward. We can't control the market, right? The market's it's not drowning over there, although we are drowning. We are building flood-proof properties. We're building properties that can't not be flooded, at least the living quarters, unless there's 20 foot deep water, and we're building hurricane resistant homes. Everything that we're putting in this house is hurricane resistant and flood proof in the sense that it's being built above flood elevation. Now, Aaron, are these ugly stick homes? Absolutely not. These are beautiful. They look like 3 stories. The first floor is just all garage and flex space and outdoor space. So, and then like entry foyer space, and then your first level, which is 1 foot above base flood elevation, is your living quarters, and then you have your second story. And these are huge homes, pool, water views, you name it. They're great. They're not a small entry by no means. The exit on one is 1.5 million. The exit on the other 2 is between 2.1 and 2.3. Those have water views, and those are a little bigger. So anyways, if y'all like this content, please like and subscribe. It helps me out. I'm not really doing this for likes and subscriptions. I'm really doing this to spread information, to hopefully give somebody knowledge that helps them, prevents them from getting screwed over on a deal. And if you want to participate in any of my deals, I have a link in my description. You can click on it, fill out the form, book a call with me. If you don't want to participate in my deals, you just want to talk to me, go through the lender form, just put all the minimums, and then book a call with me. If you are a fix and flipper investor, you could also look down, and there's another link down there for investor loans, the SCR loans, fix and flip loans, new construction loans, anything investor loans. As long as it's not in Las Vegas, we can hook you up. So hopefully this was educational. I appreciate you all. Until next time, tomorrow. Peace.